Ah, let me tell you about Bala. This story is one you may have heard before, but let me give you the full gist because I was there. I saw it happen with my own two eyes. Bala lived in our village, Gidan Tudu, a small place where life was hard, but the people's spirits were young. Everyone knew Bala, not because he was the smartest or the strongest, but because of his mouth. That boy could talk, eh? From the day he learned to speak, it was as if lies became his second language. Bala would tell stories that left you shaking your head. One day, he said he had caught a snake with his bare hands and thrown it over the village wall. Another time, he claimed he had seen the emir of Kano himself and that the emir even gave him kola nuts. Lies. The boy just loved to fabricate things. His parents, Amina and Ibrahim, were always on his case. Bala, his father would say, truth is like a solid foundation. If you build your life on lies, one day it will come crashing down. But would Bala listen? No. He thought lying was fun. It made people laugh, and to him, that was enough. Then, one day, Alhaji Musa, the village chief, decided to put him to the test. Now, Alhaji Musa was no ordinary man. He was old, yes, but his wisdom was sharper than a razor blade. He could look at you and tell if your heart was pure or not. That afternoon, the chief called Bala over. The rest of us were standing around, curious to see what Alhaji Musa wanted with the village's biggest storyteller. Bala, the chief said, I hear you are a boy of great knowledge. Some people even say you can see the future. Is it true? Bala, as usual, puffed out his chest. Yes, Alhaji, I can see tomorrow as clearly as I can see today. Alhaji Musa smiled. Ah, that is good to hear. Let us make a deal then. Tell me what will happen tomorrow. If your prediction comes true, I will reward you. But if you lie, there will be consequences. Do you agree? Bala, eager to show off, agreed immediately. Tomorrow morning, he said confidently, it will rain heavily, and by midday, the heat will be so strong that the earth will crack open. We all looked at each other. Rain? Cracked earth? In this dry season? But Bala was grinning from ear to ear, so sure of himself. The next morning, we all waited. The sky was clear. No rain. Not even a cloud. By midday, the sun was so hot. Yes, but the ground stayed solid. Nothing cracked. Nothing happened. Bala's prediction was as empty as one of his stories. By afternoon, Bala was sweating, not from the sun, but from shame. The whole village was talking. That boy has finally been caught, someone said. Others laughed. But then came the real problem. The elders discovered that the village well had dried up. Panic spread like wildfire. No water meant no cooking, no drinking, no life. The village was in trouble. It was then that Alhaji Musa called Bala again. You have lied to us, he said, his voice calm but firm. Now, you must make things right. The elders believe there is a hidden spring deep in the forest. Go and find it. Bala froze. The forest? Everyone knew that place was dangerous. People had gone in and never come out. His lies had landed him in trouble before, but this was different. The villagers weren't convinced. How can we trust him to find water when he can't even tell the truth? One elder muttered, but Alhaji Musa raised his hand to silence them. Let the boy try, he said. And so, Bala set off. He had no plan, no map, just the weight of the village's hope on his shoulders. I followed him quietly, not wanting to leave him alone in that dark forest. The forest was like another world. The trees were so tall they blocked the sun, and every step we took seemed louder than it should have been. Bala was scared. I could see it in the way his hands shook, but he didn't stop. He kept walking, looking for anything that might lead to the spring. After what felt like hours, we heard it, the soft trickle of water. Bala pushed through some vines, and there it was, a small spring hidden away like a secret. The water was so clear, cold, and more beautiful than I'd ever seen. Bala didn't celebrate. He just knelt down, splashed some water on his face, and began marking a path back to the village. When we returned, everyone was waiting. At first, they didn't believe him. Another lie, someone muttered. But when they saw the water for themselves, their doubt turned into joy. The villagers worked quickly to fetch the water. Their spirits lifted, and Bala stood there, quiet for once, as Alhaji Musa walked up to him. You see, Bala, the chief said, truth may not always be easy, but it is powerful. Today, it has saved this village, and it has saved you too. From that day, Bala changed. He stopped telling wild tales and started speaking from the heart. The villagers no longer saw him as the boy who lied, but as the boy who found water when they needed it most. And me, I learned something that day too. Sometimes, even the biggest liars can find redemption if they are willing to face the truth.